Welcome to Auto Arcadia. I am one of your hosts, Colin Wood, and with me, as always, is.
Thomas Hope.
There we go. How are you doing, Tom?
Yeah, I am. I'm good. Bit later this evening, so trying to bring as much energy as I can to this.
Yeah, man, that's
What
fair.
What about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. In a little bit of pain, but I'm good. Fucking got a disease of old men. But anyway, we'll leave it at that. Yeah, man. So, what are we going to be chatting about tonight?
Okay, so I don't know about you, but I do consume quite a lot of just like car content. It's my preferred vein of content.
Yeah, I'm on board with that
So
as a statement.
I was kind of just just like various kind of like YouTube channels, just honestly anything. Like I love a mere good kind of video essay where I get to learn something new or someone puts forward an argument. Like I do enjoy stuff like that. And you know, recently there was kind of a little discussion that also cropped up online that I saw. Can't remember where I saw it though. But it was a question of should people's first car have driving aids? And
Ooh,
knowing you as I do, I imagine you have opinions on the matter.
I do. So, I don't believe they should. Like,
Okay. And is that a full on like total blanket ban?
yes, for me it is because like I came up in cars that didn't have anything, and it was very much if you got yourself into a stupid situation, you had to get yourself out of that stupid situation. The only one I would say doesn't count is ABS. Like having ABS is you're never gonna get a car that doesn't have ABS. Generally speaking, nowadays, even fucking motorbikes have it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I agree. I think ABS is you want that. It's an absolute must. Have you ever had a car without ABS? I'm sure you have.
I have, yes. I've also had cars where I had a switch that I could turn the ABS off on.
Nice.
For the reason being, there's certain situations where ABS doesn't actually help you. There was a period of my life where I was doing quite a lot of driving on forestry roads, because it was
Mm-hmm.
quiet and you could go really quickly. And when you're on really fine gravel, the sort of stuff that can like you can sink in, um, or in dirt or snow, anti-lock braking doesn't actually help because sometimes if you can push a bow wave of shite in front of your tire, the drag will help stop you, if that makes sense. Like you want it to build up in front of the tire.
Yeah, because then your tires having to like climb out of it.
Precisely, especially
Aye.
in snow, because like sometimes the only thing that stops you sliding in snow is the build-up of snow that you're trying to slide through. Um,
Yeah, it's like a forward anchor.
yeah, that's it exactly. But no, it's a fucking belter of a question, and I do have a very strong opinion on it.
So nothing else. You get ABS, and you can just deal with it.
Yeah, that's for me. That's it. Like you get ABS because it's impossible. Like the likelihood of having a car without ABS is incredibly low. Um, and yeah, that's it. Like you don't need anything else. And but I also think your first car should have like a maximum power level.
Interesting. Okay, so you wouldn't limit. You would no assists, but no mad powerful cars. What power figure do you think?
Well, see, this is the thing because if I'm being really really anal about it, there should be a maximum tire size, as in width. There should be a minimum tire profile. There should be a minimum or a maximum vehicle weight, and there should be a maximum power output as well. And you should also be rear wheel drive.
Interesting. That's a
Because
that's an unusual collection of requirements. I would have thought that you would have been front wheel drive as like a little basic way of getting started.
No, because when you learn in front wheel drive and then you go to rear wheel drive, your world fucking explodes because you're suddenly like, what the fuck's all going on here? But if you're doing rear wheel drive, they will understeer in certain situations, but they'll also oversteer. So you get the best of both worlds. You get to learn on all of the fuck ups, not just half of them.
Fair. I mean, honestly, like if it was mandated that you had to have a very lightweight rear wheel drive, low power car, I mean that would have been a great first car to have.
Yeah. Do you know the reasoning? I'm not. Before I tell you the reasoning, what do you think the reasoning is behind that, though? From my point of view,
So you can learn the car dynamics.
precisely because
Mm-hmm.
do you know what I've basically described?
Uh, I know. What did you basically describe?
An MR2, an MX5,
I did think you were talking about an MX-5 at first.
a GT86 that would fit as well. A lot of the small displacement early BMs, so like a 318 IS in an E36 shape or a 320i in an E30. Um, like your W202 and your 190E Mercedes, a lot of those fit the bill as well. Um, because what you want is a momentum car because it means you have to learn to drive. You don't have power to cover up your mistakes.
That's true. But you could, I mean, yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true. Yeah, I mean, I actually quite like this idea, you know? I'm maybe a bit more of a, like, open view of... I would definitely keep ABS, and I'd also keep parking sensors, which
Ah.
I understand can be like like a little bit polarizing because you'll get people that'll be like, well, you can't park if you need parking sensors. It's like I don't fucking need them, but they're really nice to have. You know,
Yeah.
like they're incredibly useful. And it just
So
feels like it feels a little bit like masochistic to be like, no, I'm not going to use them. Like as if it's like such a fragile ego.
yeah, that's fair. So I wouldn't have strictly counted parking sensors as a driver aid, if I'm totally honest. So I would allow those. Like when I think parking sensors, th- like I think of a nuisance more than anything else. Like the ones that beep,
Yeah.
and if a blade of grass like popped up, they suddenly shit themselves and just go to a monotone sound.
Yeah, absolutely. But anything under them, they're blind to.
Yeah, like they are not a driving aid; they're a hindrance. But the system that I think you're talking about in the BM, where it like comes up on the screen with a little radar,
Yeah.
that's a fucking game changer. Now, I don't care who you are. Like, I've probably went more miles in reverse than a lot of our listeners have went fucking forward, to be honest. And I use it all the time. Like, it's hands down one of the best features of the 6 Series, apart from the engine. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It makes life so much easier. And I really like them. I'm not a massive fan of the ones with cameras.
See, I like a reversing camera.
I'm alright with just the sensors. I think that
Yeah.
I find the camera maybe a little bit too distracting. It's almost too tempting just to use the camera.
Yeah, that's fair because see the amount of times that people like reverse it and they're just looking at their dash and nothing else. Like,
I
the mirror
totally.
ceased to exist.
Like yeah, completely oblivious to anything that's not through the little camera at the back.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that one. The camera might be a bit too far. There is one camera that I disagree with that though, and the 6 Series after mine.
Mm-hmm.
So the one that has the Grand Coupe and it's like legitimately 5.2 meters long. It's fucking huge. The bonnet on them is immensely long to the point where pulling out of junctions is a pain in the ass. Like I've driven a couple of them and it's at a tight junction, it's shite.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
They have a wee button, and on like the side of the number plate holders, they've got a camera facing each way, so that you press this button and it comes up on the screen and it shows you the traffic coming along the road.
I mean, that is quite cool. That's handy because it shows you something that you can't usually see.
Yes, So I think we'll add that you're allowed anything that improves driver awareness.
Ah, no, that's a slippery slope, man. We can't say that because you could argue
No.
that things like lane assist and stuff improve driver awareness. You know, your chair
Okay.
vibrates at you when you stray.
So you're allowed anything that improves driver awareness while you're going backwards or sideways or stop. That's the rule.
What about traction control?
No.
I'm not against traction control. I find it really annoying, but I'm not against it.
See, I am because do you know the biggest problem I have with driving, right? One of the biggest ones I have an issue with is lane discipline.
Are you speaking about yourself personally or other people?
No, like one of the biggest problems I encounter, like today, for example, we're going to drop the wains off, and I came round like there's a little S bend to where we drop them off that goes over a railway bridge, and I went over. We came over it. I wasn't going hard either. I was doing like 40 mile an hour. So I had all three wains in the car, and me and Bex, right, in her wee Suzuki Swift.
Mm-hmm.
And then I comes around the corner and there's a fucking tractor in the middle of my road with some spotty little dick of a 16-year-old and a cattle trailer that's like 40 foot long on the back of it. And basically all he done was he was coming up on this S bend and he just cut the corner totally and like put us into the fucking side of the bridge parapet near enough. I'm like, why? The road you can get two Arctics past each other on this road, on this bridge. I've seen it happen.
Aye, do you know what? I notice a fair bit of corner cutting.
Yeah,
Tends to be at like T junctions.
yes. Like this is like all the issues that I come across driving that like I'm like I could follow you and kick your cunt in when you get out of your car over that. Like legitimately enrage me. Are all to do with discipline. And see having traction control, it removes the need for throttle discipline.
Hmm, I see. I see. So you're it's kind of the stick approach.
I don't know if it's the stick approach, man, because I think like the standard of driving's a lot worse now than what it was when I passed my test. Admittedly, that's only like 15 years ago, right?
Do you think so?
Oh, aye, absolutely. And the ubiquitousness of, I think that's the right word, the ubiquitousness of driver aids and like the rise of automation is hand in hand with the decline and people who are not interested in what they're doing.
Hmm. Taking the thinking out of the task.
Precisely. Well, we've spoken about this before. I call it Tesco syndrome.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
It's
yeah,
very relatable when people just stop thinking about stuff.
yeah, man. Like that's the problem. But what are your thoughts on this? Because we've spoken quite extensively now about mine. Like 10 minutes of my fucking fat ass warbling along. But what's your view on it?
On driver
Should
aids for the first
yeah,
car.
should first cars have them?
I think it's okay for them to have them. I don't think it's. I wouldn't mandate it in any way, if you know what I mean. Like, you don't have to have them, but, you know, I think ABS is kind of a given. Most of the stuff you'll end up buying will have ABS, and, like, honestly, if you're buying a new enough car, you probably are getting traction control or some form of it, and stability control or some form of it chucked in for good measure.
Yeah,
Um, but, like, I do kind of like the idea of, like, putting a power cap on it.
yeah,
I think that makes sense. I think that power is the kind of thing that can get you in trouble the quickest when you first start driving.
yeah. Because do you know one interesting thing about the power cap idea is like Australia has this.
Does it?
Yeah, so like you get P platers. I think it's P platers, but like I think it's like 2 years after passing your test, right? You're not allowed anything with 8 cylinders. You're not allowed anything turbo or supercharged. And I don't know if there's a displacement limit, but there's certainly limits on like you can't go out and get a turbo. You can't go out and get an Impreza or any of the hot models because you can't have anything with a turbo. You can't go out and have like a hot Evo, and it was to curb the antisocial driving and stuff. And it actually seems to have been a bit of a success. I mean, personally, I'm not one for the idea, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. I can kind of see how that exists. I wonder if it's like a kind of facilitated a bit of a market for people making lower displacement cars go faster.
See, you went the opposite way. You went like a legal means to this. This is quite interesting how we approach the same problem because my immediate thought was I would buy a load of non-turbo Imprezas and put turbo engines in them and not update the V5s
Oh.
and just allow people to commit charge a fortune for it because what I'm selling is illegal, but it's not illegal because I can drive it just fine in its current state and sell it to all the youngins and be like, have turbos, you know?
See, what I immediately thought was, oh, that's really interesting. Like, you've got like all these parameters, so you buy a car that fits them, and then you see what you can do with that.
See, so you were like, we need to go fast, but we need to go fast within the confines of the parameters, and I was like, fuck that, take a hammer to the parameters.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, oh, we could exploit this and go fast, and you were like, we could just ignore this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, people wouldn't listen. You know, there's always going to be people that are like going to buy a car that's more powerful than they can necessarily than they're used to.
yes,
Like,
definitely.
I find it would probably be quite hard to enforce. It would probably be enforced through like insurance, maybe, or like the DVLA when you
I,
tax
bel
it.
I believe the primary insurance is the police because you have to have a P plate on your car. Like you have to have like a learner sticker for when you're learning,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to have this provisional driver like just passed for like 2 years on your car. And if you get pulled and you don't have that, then you lose your license. I think you lose your license. It might not be that harsh,
The P
but if you,
plates, they're so cringe. In the UK, the P plates are very cringe.
oh yeah, nobody uses them.
Yeah, I think if you've got P plates on your car, you're getting a wide berth for me because you are a nervous driver.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Wait, is it a legal requirement? Did they change the law?
No, surely not. Like, no, because I don't see any cars with them on.
Nah, they're not a legal requirement.
In fact, definitely not because Bex didn't have them. I believe Bex asked. I can't remember if Bex asked about them or not. And I was like, no, you don't use those.
No, I mean, even though, especially the ones that say new driver onto them, that's like, it's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not cool.
It's like, it's like walking around asking to be mugged.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I do have another opinion on this though,
Right?
and this one actually might be really controversial, and
Okay.
that I don't think anyone should be allowed to do their car license without having had a motorbike first.
Yes. Now, I think I know why, but I want to hear it again.
So my view on this as a motorcyclist is there's a very big link between good drivers and people who have motorbikes. And riding a motorbike improves your car driving considerably because you're spending quite a lot of time as one of the most vulnerable road users there. Like, I can't remember the exact figures, but it's something ridiculous. Like, motorcyclists account for like 12% or even less of the total UK traffic, but like 32% of the accidents.
Yeah, that's a huge number. Yeah.
And here's the thing, it's all you fucking cagers not looking, and they pull out in front of people. And I think people should really. I don't think. The reason I think this would be a good idea, right, is because you've got so many people that don't have an appreciation for the fact that they're wrapped up in like a ton and a half of metal that can do 150 mile an hour.
Mm.
It's a lethal weapon.
Yeah, it's a kill box.
So, like, in order to make people appreciate that, put them on a machine like a wee 125, for example, that weighs like maybe 100 kilos, where you're straddling an explosion box engine upon which rests a tank of highly flammable liquid between your legs, and you hang on and you drive through the gauntlet of people who don't care for your safety and can wipe you out and not even notice.
Mm. Do you know what? I do really see the logic and the reasoning behind this. Like, I don't think it should be mandatory, but I think that there should be a route in to personal, like, kind of transport at a younger
Yeah.
age that kind of feeds better into driving. Because you can do, like, a moped license at
Yeah.
17, or is it 16?
16.
16.
Yeah.
But, like, it doesn't really feed in. You still have to go out and get, like, a driving license as well.
Yeah. See, like, I mean, the thing is, this might be totally wrong as well. It might not work because I've driven quite a lot in France, and the French are fucking lunatics. And the French also, it's really common for people to have a moped at the age of like 13, like as personal transport. Like, that's really common for like a French teenager at the age of 13 to be given a fucking, well, maybe not given, but to have a moped.
Mm.
So like, I don't know if it would work in practice, but in theory, what you find is that is the case.
Interesting. Do we give 16-year-olds or younger full 100% mobility?
Yeah, that's a question.
Because, like, have you ever seen anyone riding one of those electric kind of like scrambler style things?
I have.
Like, those things are quiet. I almost got hit by one recently. Like, I was walking across a footbridge near where I live, and there was like just like some kid on a bike like coming towards me. I thought they were like wheeling down the bridge, and I was like, oh, like that's great, you know. But actually, it was one of those electric scrambler things, and it was way quicker than I expected it to be.
That's a fair shout because like even like a wee hardtail e-bike will get you up to 30 mile an hour in a pretty respectable distance. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like something that's powered by human legs.
Yeah, I hit 30 mile an hour in one of those e-bike things.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
It was it felt great actually. It's they're quite pretty quick.
They're really cool. Like the assist that it gives you is like a noticeable
Absolutely
boost.
crazy, yeah.
So it is. Yeah, I don't know now. Do you know what? Right, even I don't. I think you're maybe right. Like it shouldn't be mandatory, but it should be really heavily like what the fuck's the word? Really heavily pushed. You know, like it's an automatic 50% discount on your insurance. That's it.
Oh yeah, no, that would totally incentivize people. It would be really interesting to see if the UK had heavily adopted mopeds, like, you know, a much more kind of continental um kind of city, which is like mopeds and bikes everywhere.
Yeah, I think it'll eventually get there, but it's going to take a long ass time because it's a very different attitude to what continental Europe has,
Mm.
like, in regards to everything as well.
Yeah, yeah. That piece of water made a huge difference,
It did.
and all the fighting over the years.
Yeah, and all the fighting that made a really big difference.
So
I mean,
yeah, I think we covered quite a lot in that.
yeah, like that was quite an expansive question. To be fair, that was a big one.
Yeah, I've definitely got a more liberal attitude towards, acceptable driving aids. I do find the ones that are intrusive to be a bit of a problem, but overall I wouldn't ban them. Certainly not for first time drivers. I think some people, they need the help.
Fair enough. I can't argue that some people need the help.
Yeah,
Um,
it's funny because like usually I've been doing driving recently, and usually every time I've done driving, I come back with like an axe to grind about something that someone's done. But this time everyone actually kind of like no one tried to kill me on the road, so there was no like insane things that happened. It was actually a very very like kind of well behaved um, journey from everyone. The only thing that came up was there was someone, and I've never really ever seen this before, but like we were driving along an A road that's like it's like single carriageway, and there was a truck, and when you're going up the hill you can see the truck and the big line of cars stuck behind it. And I thought, well, there's absolutely no chance I'm ever getting to the front of this queue by the time I get where I'm going, so I'm just here to chill. Um, like just take a relaxing drive. I wasn't in a hurry. But then what I noticed was the truck was getting further away.
really?
Yeah, and me and a few other cars were stuck behind this Mercedes SUV that was genuinely driving slower than a truck on a single carriage A road. And they were
Wow,
doing 40. Like,
that's disgusting.
that's quite bad. That's quite bad. Like, that's probably as close as it got to, like, a bad journey for me, which is such a result. Absolute result.
Do you know something, right? You just said something there that has made me remember something. I pointed out to Bex when we were on the way back today, right? And it really fucking annoyed me. And people need to have some continuity of quality, so they do. And that's not going to make any sense until I explain it.
It absolutely
So
doesn't, you're right.
we were behind this Mercedes, like a GLA. It's quite the big 4x4 one, right?
Is it like does it look like a kind of current take on an M class?
Yes.
I think the fending car in my story was one of those as well.
Well, what this person has done really fucking grinded my gears. Like I was properly animated about it with Bex, like talking to Bex about it, not like raging at my missus over some idiot's fucking poor life choices. But so I was like, Bex, look at that. She's like, what? I was like, that's actually not a horrible car. I mean, it's never a car I would own, but I was like, it's well kept, it's clean, it's reasonably new. Like, clearly they care about how they look. She goes, yeah. I says, and they've got a personal number plate. So, like, clearly they're that type, you know? And she's like, yeah, but so what do you mean though? I was like, well, why would you get a nice car like that and then get nice new number plates with your name or whatever your initials are on any of that pish, and then just fucking nail it on with 4 old wood screws that you found in the bottom of your shed? Like, why have this nice car and then like go out of your way to get like a personalized number plate with like the 4D lettering and everything else, and then just fucking bang 4 silver screws in it? Like, why not pay the £3 to get the sticky strips or like the proper number plate screws that are color coded so they don't stick out a mile away?
Aye.
I was just like, who the fuck does that?
I'm quite surprised by that. That is unusual.
Like, I get that people, like, some people just don't care.
Mm.
but like everything else that led up to this, that like what I was viewing, kind of suggested that you do actually care. Like your car's well polished, and like you can tell you actually care about it, and you've got your personal number plate, which obviously you cared enough about to put on retention and put on your new car or pay whatever the DVLA wanted for it. But then you cheap out and fucking wood screw it onto your car. Like, I legitimately think I would walk away from a car if I went to view one and that's what they'd done.
You would kind of be scared about what other mental stuff have they done.
Yeah, like
How shoestring budget has this car been maintained on?
precisely. Like, where does it stop if this is where it starts?
Exactly, I totally. It's one of those things where you're like, I really don't want to unpick this because I don't know where it'll end.
Yeah. And the thing is, as well, like, I kind of ruined it for Bex as well, because I was like, you can't unsee that now, can you? She's like, no, I really can't. Like, it looks fucking horrible. I was like, I know. Like, who does this?
That is, yeah, that's wild.
But yeah, no, that was when you mentioned the Mercedes 4x4, I was like, fuck, I was following one of them today.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, so I mean, the the driving aids thing, driving stuff.
Yeah, that one.
That one, absolutely, that one. Um, I think I think we can lay that one to rest a little bit.
Yeah, that
Like,
one's been done. So it
uh,
has.
so honestly, another thing I was thinking about, which I mean, I think this might have also been a post that I read online somewhere, but it was a great question, and it did lead me to like just kind of like I like these kind of things where you can just kind of think about them in the background. But the question was, what kind of like what cars are like one kind of change away from greatness? Like, is there anything that you would change to a car to really like elevate it in your opinion, or is there anything where it's like you like, but there's one thing about it which is a bit of a deal breaker?
Yeah. Do you know, I've actually got a blanket statement for this one.
Interesting.
So, you know, like early 2000s to maybe mid 2010s. No, in fact, actually, we'll go for like 98 to like 2012, right? As the time window. There was so many cars that came out that were like performance based, but they were all naturally aspirated.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of them would have been better if they were turboed or if they like the app like I'm not talking like E46 M3 here, that's a masterpiece. But like a lot of like the fast hatchbacks and stuff, they had like your R32 Volkswagens or your Focus ST, like the first gen, which just had a 2 litre in it. Like that would have been better if it had like a wee positive displacement supercharger, or like the 350Z would have been better if it had a turbo from factory. You know?
What was the 350Z's power output from factory?
Oh, it was quite high. It was like 320 brake. I'm sure.
So yeah, no slouch.
It was no slouch, but how much better would that have been? Like, imagine the 350Z with essentially a Nissan GTR engine in it as standard,
Be quite
or maybe
leery.
or maybe not even like that was that like an there should have been a model where there was forced induction with a lot of stuff. I mean, look at it this way, right? Don't look at the 350Z. Look at the first generation Focus, which handled really well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how phenomenal the ST170 would have been if it was an ST230 with a positive displacement supercharger.
Yeah, no, I do get you. Like, obviously, I mean, even you could definitely make a fairly boggle standard Focus a lot more entertaining if you slapped a turbo on it.
Yeah, like a lot of stuff like that. So that's my blanket statement. Have you got any like individual cars.
I mean, I can really speak to what I know in a lot of ways. You know, like I have exact experience with. Because for me, often a deal breaker is it being front wheel drive and it feeling very much like a front wheel drive car. Like, not. Like, if I was to think back, like, what would I improve about all of the cars I've owned? I'd be like, well, I wish they were all rear wheel drive. Pretty much in all cases. Well, other than when they were rear wheel drive, if you know what I mean. Like,
That's a fair shout.
I think the Fiesta would probably still have been fine with it being front wheel drive because it was like so light and like, you know, it was still good fun. It was a very chuckable little car.
Yeah.
But like that Volvo, I hated it. I hated being front wheel drive. It was rubbish.
Yeah, that Volvo gets a lot of hate on this channel.
Oh, that Volvo! God, the most agricultural diesel engine, handled like shit. It broke all the time. Ugh. I mean, I wasn't particularly like easy on the car, but it was. It had problems. Not a fan of it. I mean, even if it was 4-wheel drive, it probably would have been like better. But it was crap to drive, and you know, it struggled on the very very cheap tires that it was on.
Yeah, putting stuff on Linglong ditch finders rarely improves the situation in my experience.
Nah, man, that car, it was so awful. But yeah, like I get even like, the TT, which was, you know, like that kind of viscous 4-wheel drive.
Yes.
I feel that would have been a much better if it was kind of a rear biased for all-wheel drive.
So like an S4 sort of setup, like the Torsen center differential.
Yeah. Like even Audi can still have their 40-60 split, you know?
Yeah.
Just it mostly going to the back would have been much better.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I would say for quite a lot of 4-wheel drive cars is they would be made infinitely better by having a rear power distribution bias, to be fair.
Yeah. Is it done purely for economy? The front bias?
A lot of it's done. So a lot of cars understeer or have a front drive bias which would promote understeer because it's assumed that understeer is safer.
I suppose it means there's more of the car crashes into whatever it hits.
Yeah,
Gets to
but
crumple in the right way, maybe?
I don't know. Do you know what the big issue I have is like it's very hard to do anything with understeer. Like once you're in it, you're kind of there. You know, you can let off and let the wheels regain traction, and then like brake and steer out of it, get your weight transfer forward. But I mean, other than that, there's not much you can do. Whereas oversteer, you can drive through it, you can have it stop immediately, you can prolong it. There's just so many more options to get yourself out of the situation with it.
Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree. Like, it's actually harder to get out of understeer than oversteer.
Yes. And what I find as well is, like, a lot of cars are set up to understeer, but they understeer in such a way that it's almost fucking impossible once it does understeer to do anything with. Like, it's so sudden. It's just like, bang, understeer. Whoa. Like, there's no understeer, and oh, if I just lift a little bit, it'll bring its nose back in line. There's never ever found that to be the case.
It just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever pushed it to the point where it's like, you know, peak understeer, but I remember that that TT really, you really noticed at mid corner that the front did not want to turn.
It's not a nice feeling either.
No,
It's
it's absolutely not. It's
horrible.
frustrating.
No, definitely.
So yeah, that would totally be my major change. Would I would actually be switching the drive type, because I've never really owned any like automatics or anything like that, and like I've had cars that have had annoying things with them, but I don't know, nothing that I would change beyond the drivetrain. I mean, honestly, if I could go back and change one thing, again, it would be with that fucking Volvo. It would be the motor. I would not have got the 2 litre diesel.
T5 engine.
Literally anything petrol. The only
Fair.
thing that diesel was good for was munching motorway miles, and as soon as I stopped doing that on the regular, it was horrible.
Yeah, that's fair.
The only saving thing about that is it was bland as fuck, which meant that it never got to look twice on the motorway.
Yeah, you'd be able to make very well
Oh, you could
moderately.
make strong time in it. Definitely
Yeah,
make strong time. Like, yeah, I mean, the fastest cars on the motorway are often 2 litre diesel stands.
they are usually with an area sales rep in the front.
Absolutely. So that was about the only decent thing about it. But like, God, definitely get rid of that. That diesel was rubbish.
Yeah, most diesels are rubbish. To be fair, all diesels are rubbish. To be fair.
I mean, thinking about it broader, like any cars that I would, really want a big change in. I think there's some cars that I'd maybe quite like to see like a manual option. I'm still a
Yeah,
bit old fashioned with liking a manual. I do quite like doing the gears myself.
that's fair. Um, I've actually thought of another blanket statement as well.
All right, yeah.
So cars from the mid 2000s, the obsession with having like a satellite navigation system and a radio and all this climate control controls all rolled into the same piece of plastic.
Mm,
Like the best cars from that era now are the ones where I can just rip the radio out and put a modern double din unit in because of the quality of life improvement. It is stellar.
yes. Yes, I do you know what? That is a fantastic one. That would be such a great change. I mean, like, at the risk of bringing that car up again, but do you know what? Another thing the Volvo had, which I hated.
Big integrated center console.
Yeah, there was that one that had the stupid gap behind it. And it meant that
Oh,
if you wanted to change that for anything aftermarket, there was like one option, and it was like 700 quid.
yeah.
And
Like this, that's the problem as well. Like the Honda Accord I had, like it was an amazing car, and it would have been so much better if I could just have pulled the radio out and banged a double din radio in there. But it was like a fucking 650 quid piece of plastic that I needed because it had the aircon controls and everything in it. And it's like, why the fuck would you do that?
yeah, it's so annoying.
Fucking infuriating.
Some like connection and standardization would be really really nice.
And do you know the thing that really fucked me off is the Civic of the same era has a double din radio. Like, as in, when they got to the end of the production run and they were getting rid of all the paint that they had that never got used, so they made all these bullshit special editions, and then they put the factory fascia in it and they sold it with an aftermarket Alpine radio as a special edition to get rid of all the paint that they had left. And it's like you've basically admitted that your radios are shit.
Are you suggesting that special editions only come about because they need to shift unpopular colours?
Certainly, that was what I've seen happen when I was in the trade. Like, you get a lot of color editions. Like, you know, the Harlequin Volkswagens.
Aye, I do, aye.
they were just to get rid of all this shit that was lying around. Like, nobody'll convince me otherwise. And I know all the enthusiasts get a massive fucking hard on over the fact that their car looks like Joseph's Technicolored fucking jacket. But it looks shit. Like,
I don't disagree. I don't think I'm not really into the style. I think it looks a little bit stupid.
yeah, like, I don't want a yellow door, a red door. It looks like you've crashed your car and rebuilt it out of several different ones that were available in the scrapyard. That's what it looks
Ah,
like.
yeah, it totally does. It totally does. It looks like the scrapyard had a really, really rich bounty, all from different cars.
That's it, exactly. So yeah, no, like, certainly with the Civic, that was the case. Like, and it was this horrible jobby brown with like glitter through it.
Wait, is this
And
the car you owned?
no, no, I never owned this. I saw several people buy them when I worked at Honda at the time, and I was like, "What the fuck is going through your head?"
Oh, I forgot you worked at Honda, man.
So like, it was this proper deep jobby brown with like pearlescent glitter through it.
Oh, nice.
Like the pearlescent was more brown. So like it just changed shade of brown slightly when you were looking at it, and I was like, that looks fucking horrible.
What generation of Civic are we looking at here?
The FNs, you know, the spaceship one.
Oh, yeah. Aye, you did get some pretty sketch colours in that.
You did.
I actually saw someone down the street from me with their car parked, and it was an FN, and it was an FN Type R, and they were taking pictures of it, and it looked very much like they were flogging it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked, you know, like the kind of pictures you take when you're selling a car from all of the different angles.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it felt very like that.
That's class.
So I need to have a quick look online to see if I can find the car.
Do you know? Actually, on the subject of FN2 Type Rs, I've got a really controversial take on these.
Yeah.
The FN2 Type R is better than the EP3 Type R. Hands down, no competition as a road car. And if you're making a track car, I believe they're a more predictable base as well.
Which one's the EP? Oh, is that the one before it? The EP is like the shoe.
Yeah, the one that looks like a bread van.
Yeah, God, I'm not sure which of those two Honda Civic designs I like less.
EP3 for me. I think the FN2 is like the far superior machine. Like, and the only way you're getting one better than them is if you have an FD2, which was Japan only, or you go back to like an EK Type R. I can't remember what the type was, what the number was, but an EK. Or if you want something truly spectacular, a DC2 Type R. But if you wanted something truly spectacular, buy something rear-wheel drive and not a fucking Honda.
Yeah.
End of the hot take.
No, I mean, yeah, you get that hot take out there. I can't find this advert, sorry. I was really looking for it.
Fair enough, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. Something about Civics that never really did it for me. I like the EK.
EKs are stunning. I think they're class.
I do like the EK, but then I lost interest. Like EP, no. FN, no. I always see like the FN's the one you see kicking about in like flat black that's really faded, so it's like matte grey in some spots. And
Yeah.
you know, like just on the massive like tiny wheels, massive profile tires, just looking a bit worn and sad and
That's the one, man. That is the one.
yeah, that's what they always remind me of.
Incredible. Yeah, they're not like they have there's a lot of them just that look really fucking rough.
You mean they're cheap?
Yeah, for a reason.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, legitimately though, I reckon the FN2 Type R is legitimately a better car than an EP3. and I'll die on this hill. Like, genuinely, I mean, I've driven them back to back as well, and I didn't think they were anything special. The EP3s.
Fair enough. Did you get a lot of the? Did you get a lot of that stuff in when you were in Honda?
Yeah, man, loads of them.
Really, there was that much of a market for them around. Was it Dumfries?
Yeah, man. Like, see, stuff like that tends to do really well in Scotland, though. Like Evos, Imprezas, the Type R Hondas, like they're popular because they're really good on B roads,
Mm.
and we have the best B roads on the planet.
Quite a lot of them as well.
Yeah, a lot of them. We got a lot of guys coming round as well, and they're like, "My Type R makes a funny noise." And we're like, "Oh yeah, let's hear it." Yeah, you need an engine. When was the last time you checked your oil?
Oh no!
Yeah, we got a lot of that.
Wait, people just not keeping on top of it.
Yeah, because that's actually like there's a reason why the UK got the FN2 and like Japan got the FD2, and the biggest reason was because people in the UK don't change their oil, don't look after their cars. So the Japanese engineers were like, fucking basically, here's a European model, and the biggest change we've made to it is that there's a fucking low oil warning because we've had so many people with EP3s come back saying my car ran out of oil. Like
I mean,
that's legit. Like that's not me bullshit, and that's actual legit.
honestly, you have reminded me that I really do need to check the oil in that car.
What a poignant sentence to come after my statement.
Yes, do you know what? I was when I was driving it this morning. I remembered. I was like, yeah, I haven't looked at it in. It's not a really long time. It's not anything concerning, but I'll need to look at it just for
Yeah.
my own peace of mind. Like genuinely, I think it might have been less than 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, see when I've got like a long term car, you'd be lucky if I check my oil every 6 months. Like after I've owned it for maybe a year, like I'll check it probably on the week. Like I'll do it on the weekend when I wash it.
Mm.
But then once I've passed a year and I've serviced it like maybe twice, I'm like, right, I know that it's going to use half a litre. It's got to drop to halfway on the dipstick and then it just sits there and it doesn't use any more. So I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'll just leave it. I'll get it when I service it next. And sure as shooting, anytime I've done that, whenever I come to it, it's like, yep, nothing, cool. Got halfway up on the dipstick. And then service it, fill it right to the top, and then it burns like half a litre oil, gets halfway down the dipstick, and then that's it, it's done. It just doesn't use any more.
Aye, I think that's what I'm trying to get a feel for at the moment. Is basically how much oil is this car using over particular miles, just like over a certain kind of rough amount of time.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you'll find most manufacturers say you can use up to a litre every 1,000 miles, and it's nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's quite a lot.
it's not. Because a litre only takes you from the maximum to the minimum level on your dipstick. And most petrol cars take between 3.5 and 5 litres of oil.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Unless it's a Lexus IS 250, they take 7.5 litres of oil, which I found out to my fucking surprise when I went to go and purchase oil for
Oh
it.
my god.
I was like, how much for oil? How much are you fucking selling me? They're like, oh, well, you need 8 litres of it. I was like, fucking what?
Aye, that's a hefty buy right there.
That was a big buy. Like, fucking, I mean, what, you're talking 4 litres of oil can be 50 quid, so there's 100 quid in oil.
Aye, to be fair, it's no worse than petrol. You don't have to do it as often.
Yeah, that's true, actually. That's true.
I think you're totally right, honestly. We are bad for not maintaining cars properly. Cars get a fair bit of abuse in the UK.
They do. Like, you just have to look at like what goes through a Copart auction, the amount of diesels and stuff which are like bought by people who typically run on a shoestring.
Mm.
They want the cheapest car to run. The amount of cars that have like engine management lights on, or faults, or turbos that are fucked, and everything else, and it's all because of a lack of servicing.
Aye. And also probably lack of use in a lot of cases, you know?
Yeah, I'll go with that.
But aye. So have you still been looking on Copart?
I have, although I've not opened it up in a wee while now because I'm waiting on everything selling, man. It's like fucking. If I look, I'm just like tempted to do something I'll regret, like buy another fucking car that I can't sell because nobody's buying at the minute.
Aye, totally. It does feel like that no one is buying at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, what the uncertainty is, but it needs to fuck off because I need to make some money.
Yeah, totally.
um, I'm trying to think if there's anything popping into my mind. I'm kind of drawing a blank as well. Have you got anything else for tonight?
No, that was kind of broadly. I had more stuff, but I think that's a nice place to wrap it up for like a kind of a shorter, more chatty episode.
Yeah, because we have been doing quite a lot of like hour 30, hour 40, hour 25 episodes recently. It's nice to have a wee short one that people can just punch out nice and easily.
Yeah, absolutely. We asked some questions.
This has probably been quite a controversial one as well. Been
Do
a
you
lot of
think
hot,
so?
yeah, there's been a lot of hot takes. So there has.
We've not targeted any particular manufacturer though.
No, that's true. Fuck the Fiesta ST.
Nice, there we go. That's it. Glad we've upset at least someone at the end of
Yeah.
this. Okay, cool. Well, that's the episode, folks. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you've heard, give us a subscribe, leave us a review, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Bye.
Toodaloo, guys.